Hey everybody, I am coming to you from the post-snow apocalypse Wayside 410 campus. My name is Roland, I'm the middle school pastor here, and it was so great to see your students on Sunday because we could hang out on Sunday. I tell you, after quarantining because of COVID and having to do all of the business where we were only online church for a while, it was really strange to do that and have it be cold outside, and not because of COVID, but because of winter weather. So I hope your family is safe. I hope you have endured the crazy snow that we experienced. And if you have any need for water or food or anything like that, please reach out to Wayside Chapel. We want to come alongside you and help you out. All that said, we were in week 3 of our Dave series. Dave and the pagan is what we were talking about. Talking about how David related to a pagan king Achish, or Achish, depending on who was reading on Sunday morning from the murder school group. It was a really good time. We started out by asking this question: what's a time you found yourself in a place you didn't expect? And I talked about the snowstorm that we went through and how I found myself in a snowy park that was right outside our house, and it's not a place that I expected to be, in the snow, because of this crazy storm that we had. And we talked about how God puts us in places for a season, for a reason. Like when I was a kid, I moved twice, once right before middle school and another time right before high school, all within Alabama. But if you've moved and you have kids, you understand how big of a deal it is to move and change friends and schools and community groups and churches and all this stuff, and how hard that can be. Well, David ended up leaving Israel, leaving Judah, and going down to a place where the Philistines were, where King Achish was. And he actually was there for 1 year and 4 months, spending time avoiding Saul, but also trying to not be killed by these Philistines. And we talked about how kind of weird that was, how David was lying to King Achish and telling him, hey, I'm going over here to raid, when really he was going over there, and how it was strange that David was killing all these Philistines, but in reality he was actually doing what God had commanded Saul to do, but that Saul had failed to do. And all the while it seemed like King Achish was totally fine with David being there. In fact, so much so that he defended David with this verse right here in 1 Samuel 29, when he said, "As the Lord lives, you are an honorable man. I think it's good to have you fighting in this unit with me, because I have found no fault in you from the day you came to me until today." And I reminded the students, remember, David had been lying to King Achish, but really he hasn't caused him any trouble. In fact, so much so that King Achish says, "You are an honorable man." So we asked this question: how can we treat leaders who don't believe in Jesus? Now, rest assured, I encourage students not to lie to their leaders. We talked about how the Bible's a book about real people who have faults, but we talked about how we should treat the people in our lives who have authority over us, but who do not believe like us. And this was the main point that we came down to, is give your leaders a reason to admire your faith. Give your leaders a reason to admire your faith. Whether that's how you live, how you react to maybe situations that they try to put you in to test you, or maybe how you treat other people when it seems like nobody's watching, but your leaders are. It was a really great conversation. I hope you can continue it with your students throughout this week. I hope you guys stay safe, stay warm, and we'll see you at Wayside in another time real soon. Bye, guys.